Alright, so this is going to be day 3 of building in public. This boilerplate for the first project idea verify, which allows you to, I'm hoping it'll can help you guys automate your idea, automate the validation process of validating your ideas. So you can build a landing page, the click of a button, with all of your marketing material, and allow you to post social media messages to drive traffic to that landing page, so you can track what users are interested in your product, and you can get a no or a go or no go on building out your product, your SaaS. But this is the boilerplate. Where I left off, I've been doing this thing where I'm in Cursor. This is Cursor. Here's my chat over here. Each session, I'm telling Cursor to keep track of what they're working on, what it's working on, what I'm asking it, keeping track of the chat history, keeping track of the changes, keeping track of the requirements. I've been keeping some Cursor notes over here, where I kind of give it requirements. I say like what I'm trying to build, what my future goal of using this boilerplate would be, keeping track of future ideas, all code config changes proposed in chat for review approval, all bash from. Sometimes CursorAI it doesn't allow you to, it forgets to run the commands inside the chat so that it can analyze the logs, and then it asks me to run in the terminal, so I'm trying to make sure that it remembers that. It's gotten better once I provided these rules and preferences. For any changes to the boilerplate, a new Git branch, made sure that any changes or any new session, start off with a new Git branch, new feature branch. Make sure to keep environmental variables managed by .env, registration logs in user, and sets auth cookie immediately, logout clears off, Google Auth, all the libraries I want to use. Make sure the API endpoint should be RESTful and consistent between front end and back end. Current future tasks. This is like what I hoping to accomplish from where I left off. Is continue improving user auth, expand documentation, and then my ultimate bit, some future plans, AI agentic SaaS. So it's referring back to these requirements. Got some onboarding on how to set up this, so it knows how to spin up the servers, etc. Keeping track. There's a change log. I haven't really taken advantage of the session log. This is each night or each day. It keeps track of. Yesterday kept track of everything that I was working on. I got some code quality docs. The docs are right here. How to set up everything for any user that wants to use this. Got it actually printed out an architectural diagram, which is a pretty simple diagram, but it's pretty cool how I guess this is a command that actually outputs the image. So where I left off yesterday was, I noticed that the cancellation page, if we log in, so here's the SaaS boilerplate. Let's go back to home. What I usually do is keep an admin tab over here. This is like Django admin, where I can make changes to the database in a UI. It's just easier that way. But so here's the landing page that I created. All of this is changeable. It can be changed throughout with the UI, the admin over here. All the copy here can be changed. Then you can see it live change over here. So right now I'm working on Stripe integration. So I have the same exact pricing plans. I'm reusing React components here So it's the same in the dashboard once I log in. So if I continue to go off, and this is my admin user for the SaaS boilerplate. So I'm going to use this one user that I've been playing around with. This is my other Gmail account. Let's authenticate, hopefully. All right, nice. So we successfully authenticated. We got the change in the navigation. This is where this doesn't work yet. This doesn't work yet. None of this. I'm going to remove that later. So this is part of the session today. We got status active, which means it's a paying customer. This is pulling all from Google. And let's go to manage subscriptions. That's where they can update. Yeah, so last night I tried to cancel it, but I noticed, so that's why it has the cancel current subscription canceling, and it's active until 8/21. So this is all good, except that I believe on Stripe side, so this is Stripe, I wanted it to, so if we come to the customer, this is my customer here, the one I signed in with. So I was playing around. I set it to, first it was the starter. Oh, actually, it is canceled. It's got the marked canceled. So I started with professional, and then it will cancel August 22nd. So payment methods. I think I was looking at this last night. I didn't see. So these are the invoices that they were paid. I mean, this is what they paid, $99.29. And then, yeah, so it looks like it canceled August 22nd. So it is actually working. 29. Except it's not also, if we come into the users, this is the user. Subscription end date 8/21. Yeah, so date joined 7/22, 8/21. It should end since Stripe. I wonder if we should have an active. Unselected as active. Well, the user is technically active and has access to the premium feature. So I think it's actually handled correctly. So let's go back into Cursor. I said my primary goal, ensure that when a user cancels their subscription cancellation properly communicate the Stripe reflected. Okay, let me first check this. So this is what I wanted to work on tonight. I gave Cursor fix subscription cancellation. Ensure Stripe is aware. So it's going through to see what needs to be fixed. Fixing the current English. Let me analyze what's working, what needs to be fixed. Current state, what's working, backend cancellation endpoint. Shows cancel reactivate button based on webhook handle subscription updates and deletions, auto sync logic updates when subscription status changes. It's an immediate cancellation option. Currently only cancels at period end, but users might want immediate cancellation. Better error handling, need to handle edge cases and provide better user feedback. Status, ensure Django database is immediately updated after cancellation. Webhook verification, currently bypasses webhook signature verification. Proposed solution, let me implement the following. Add immediate cancellation option. No, actually, I've never had a subscription service just cancel and not allow me to access it. So I think it's a better what we have currently. So if I cancel today, I still have access to it for another month. I think that's the proper way. I think it is working. Enhance error handling user feedback. Improve status implementation. I think this is all working already. Add better logging for debugging. I don't think we need to do that. Let's actually, it looks like the cancellation button is marking the subscription as canceled on both Stripe side and Django side. I think we are good with cancellation. While that's thinking, so this is what's the good thing about Cursor, you can let it think and then you can start thinking about what else to do. What Stripe marker, subscription cancel at period and not immediate, which is correct. UI update shows canceling badge and reactivate. Canceling and badge and reactivate button. Yeah, how do we reactivate? Let's check that out. Oh, it's got the reactivate subscription. Let's see if this is working. I think we should remove this part. Let's tell it first to remove. See this? Can please, like being courteous, can you please remove the copy below the reactivation button? Along with the status badge to the right. Let's see if it finds that the way I explained it. I'll identify the page. Alright, let's see what that did. Let's look at the change that I have to make. So like double checking the code. Make sure. Current system, yeah. Active. Default. Okay, let's just look at that one more time. To quit my messages. Okay. Oh, it already removed it. Perfect. So yeah, that's a good thing. It makes a change and automatically. I have Docker running right now, so I have Docker, which spins up both the front and back end and my Postgres instance. So I have it running currently. So front end, so it's always watching any changes to the code that Cursor makes. So I'm just going to accept that change because that is what I intended. So I remove the duplicate. Perfect. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, I also want to clean up these parts here. I just want the invoices to show. I don't want the subscription payment. So I'm going to tell it in the recent payments. In the payment history and under recent payments, only show the invoice, not the payment. Alright. See how quick this is? Now I'm off the bank. Only return invoices and update the front end to reflect this change. Okay. It's just going to make some changes to Django. So these are my views. It's going to make an adjustment. So it created a payment history endpoint. There we go. And it's just adjusting it. It was already there, but it's adjusting what it pulls. It's ensuring that the user is authenticated. Let's see what else it's doing. Yeah. Okay. It's removing payment intent, so this must be where the payments are coming from. And this must be invoices. Looks like it's pulling from stripe.invoice.list. It's got some hidden lines here, but then it's removing the intents, payment intents, for invoice. Perfect. That looks good. So it's looking over the invoices, it's checking if paid, then up into the payments list over here, and then it sorts it. Cool. Returns the first 20, top 20. That's okay for now. If we need to expand it or add some pagination, we can do that later. Okay, great. I can see the backend has already been updated. All right, let's accept these backend changes. Recent invoices. Great, I can see the backend has already been updated, so I'll return. Yeah, so it's only really a backend change. So it's just going to just copy here. Yeah, your recent. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, let's double check that change went through. Refresh so that it pulls again from Stripe. Perfect. Recent invoices. I don't know if we need payment history. I kind of like it. It's not too bad. Current subscription canceling. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Current period 8/21. Next, it shouldn't say next payment. That's kind of misleading. I would be annoyed if I. So let's say in the current subscription, if canceling, in the current subscription section, if and only if canceling, don't show to it, don't canceling, if and only don't show that it will renew. Let me take a screenshot so that it knows what I'm talking about. This gives it some more context, I find. So next payment. Don't show that it will renew. Don't show the next payment if they are in canceled status on Stripe. That would be misleading. Maybe if and only if canceling, don't show, or say don't show, or say canceling on the date. And then we just provide it some image context. The heck? Okay. Okay. What else? I'll test this after. Oh, come on. It's adding some Boolean logic to say cancel at period end. Just removing this. If not, cancel at period end, then show that information. Alright, makes sense. Let's check that. Perfect. Okay. Nice. Alright. Let's test out the reactivation. I don't know if this will work. I'm assuming it's going to use the current plan and tell Stripe to re-subscribe the customer to this current plan. And then it should update all the, let's check it out. Perfect. Next payment. User agreement is active. Renew automatically. Current period. Hopefully you don't get charged twice. Should just stay on 99. Yep. Looking good. Let's check Stripe for this customer. It was canceled. Let's refresh the page. The API call must just toggle some type of flag that says canceled or not canceled or active. Refresh. So this is the testing sandbox in Stripe. So now this is real. So yep, active. Yep, sweet. Monthly. Perfect. Looking good. And then if we want to subscribe to, so let's say, so now they're on the current plan, but say, oh, wait a second, I just want to go back to the subscribe to the $29 a month, the starter plan. I'm pretty sure it charges the customer again for $29, so they could be like, get charged $99 and then $29. I don't think that should happen. I don't think that happens when I sign up for subscription. So let's hopefully it doesn't do that, but if it does, then we can. I think there's a way to tell Stripe to not do that. We can ask Cursor. Yeah, so this is the checkout link. Allows you to save your information. But I'm gonna pay without link. And what you do, it's got the email addresses. You just go 42. That's the Stripe sandbox card that you can use. It's not a real card. This is just a random. Let's do. It's got to be in the future, and just a random CVC. Let's do Ricky M. 492, and let's just subscribe. Processing. This is all handled by Stripe. This is Stripe checkout sessions. Okay, so it's current plan. Next payment, 821. So I think they get charged again. Let's refresh. Spent 128. Let's see if it has another. Didn't spend it. The subscription was created. Paid. I don't understand this. It says it's paid. Subscribe payment. Yeah, it definitely says payment was successful. So let me ask Cursor. I could go through all the API docs for Stripe, which I've done in the past, but I find Cursor to be pretty good with looking up the API Stripe docs. So I'm going to basically tell it what I did. So I just tested the downgrading of a subscription from the Pro, from the professional plan to starter plan, from the professional plan to the starter plan. And it subscribed the customer to proper plan. However, I believe it is charging the customer the $29 on top of the $99 the customer paid yesterday. Shouldn't the user just be charged the $29 at the end of the payment period? And give the customer access to the current plan of Pro until the end of the period? I feel like that's how it typically is. Let's see if it understands. You're absolutely right. This is a critical billing issue. When a user downgrades their subscription, they should keep access to their current plan to the end of the period, not be charged immediately, for they will only be charged a new amount the next. User is being charged $20 immediately on top of the $9 they already paid, which is a double charge of poor user experience. Yep. From then on, starter user keeps Pro access until current period and next one. Yeah. Root cause. Let me check. So it's looking. Searched. Wonder where it's searching. Oh, it's looking, I don't know, at all the files. You can see the issue. The current implementation is creating a new subscription instead of updating the existing one. When a user clicks subscribe on a different plan, it's calling handle subscribe, which creates a completely new checkout session. Oh, gotcha. New subscription created. Old subscription still active. User already paid and double billing curse. Solution: implement proper subscription update. Add a subscription update endpoint that modifies the existing subscription. Change the front-end logic to detect if the user has an existing. Use Stripe subscription update instead of create. So Stripe has a update subscription. Perfect. Great. I can see the updates when the info was added. All right, look. That looks good. I'm sure it's fine. Finds the user, if not a Stripe. Try subscriptions, gets all the subscription for that customer. Status equals active. If not, subscription data. So even if it was in canceled status, it won't update. But we'll test that again with the reactivate. I'm guessing we have a reactivate section in here. I'll come back to that. Get current subscription. No active subscription. Yeah. So if you get to this point, it's throwing a response error because it shouldn't. The front end should always detect, or it should point to. It should call this when it is active subscription currently. So it's good error handling there. So it should never happen, but it's good to block it if it ever does. Subscription equals subscriptions.data. Sweet. We grab the first subscription, get the subscription item to update. So this is getting items. Looks like it's turns into a list of items, if not items, dot data, no subscription items found. Yeah, so there should be items at this point. If not, then something's definitely wrong. So we got the subscription item. Update the subscription item with the new price. This will change the plan, but keep the current billing period. Sweet. So it looks like Stripe has this modify subscription method where you just throw in the subscription item, throw in the data, price ID, which should be the 29, prorate, don't charge me. Perfect. So this is what proration behavior equals none. So that's a Stripe parameter that you pass into the modify. If you pass in none, it looks like it doesn't charge immediately. Update the subscription to ensure changes. So you gotta first update the item. Not sure I understand this part, but it looks like an item is a part of I see. There's a subscription item and there's a subscription. So we're updating both. To ensure don't charge immediately. Changes will take effect at the next billing cycle. Perfect. And then we got some error handling. Alright. That looks good. We can test it to make sure. Great, I can see the update subscription, what was added. So this is the front end now. Page.tsx, it's a TypeScript. If there's subscription data, then call this update. Yeah, so before it was calling the create edit on every button click. So update it. What if it doesn't? Else, create subscription. Sweet. So if success equals true, cancel equals false, cancel equals true. An update should take effect. Toast is what's gonna, it's like a toast on the screen. It'll pop up and then refresh the data. Yeah, so this is the create flow. And then they removed some of this stuff, but added const data if response okay, they will not change the href to whatever is passed back in the URL. So it should be one of these. Else throw out an error. Yeah, let's test it. Looks good. Processing. Switch to. Nice. Switch to. I like, the button. I think this is the button part of the page. So let's say switch to this new plan or subscribe if they already. Yeah. Very smart. Proper subscription. Sweet. So I accepted all the changes. Yep, look at that. Already switched to professional, switched to enterprise. This is pretty sweet. Again, really no code touching. So let's go to switch to professional now. Get updated. Let's just check this. I gotta get some battery. Sweet. So it doesn't charge it again for the 99. Wonder why there's 3. Oh, it's because I added 2 new numbers. And then the link. I mean, two names. That's fine for now, unless it causes issues. Perfect. So why does it show active? Active. Kind of doesn't make sense. I think it's just because before we weren't handling it properly. What does this say? Cancel subscription. Yeah, cancel immediately. Cancel. Alright. So that should be the only. Let's switch it back to starter and see what happens. $29 active. Amazing. So it didn't add a new subscription, it just updated it to starter. Succeeded. And the invoice should stay the same. Oh yeah, these are the invoices. Perfect. Alright. So payments, let me cancel, see if that's still working as intended when we reactivate cancel subscription. Active until canceling. Alright. And then let's just double check Stripe. Cancels. Sweet. Alright, now let's reactivate. So if it reactivates, it shouldn't create a new subscription, should just update the current. So this should clear and it shouldn't be charged. Hopefully that works. Perfect. Starter. Didn't get paid again. Perfect. I think the Stripe subscription stuff is working pretty well. I like it. Let's go back to the dashboard. Let's remove, actually let me grab a battery. Okay. some more power. Continue on. Let's clean up recent activity. Do I want recent activity? Not really. View profile. Do I want a profile page? Depends on the SaaS. Yeah, let's remove profile, quick actions, common tasks. Let's say, okay. Nice. That worked. Pretty well. Next up, let's remove view profile button on dashboard and just have manage subscriptions and settings I'm going to have for if they want to update, change password. Nah, you need to, if you forget your password, you could always do it on the reset password, which is what we'll work on next. Manage subscriptions and settings. Next up, let's remove view profile button on dashboard and just manage subscriptions in the quick actions and remove recent activity. Now just have 2 columns. So usually with these front-end frameworks, it's column based. So this was probably, if it's a large screen, then it's going to be 3 columns. And then if it's a single screen, it's just 1 column. If it's medium, I'm sure it's, let's go here. This is mobile, tablet. Tablet puts it into 2 columns. So I want, let's do it 2 columns when it's large. I kind of want it like centered more. So I don't want it completely spread out. So I want it 2 columns, but same width, but centered. Now just have 2 columns, same width on large screen, but centered. So more margin. Let's see if it does that correctly. If I said the right wording. Is it padding or margin? I think it's margin. Perfect. Now up to the dashboard. Nice. So removing the recent activities, change it, keep only manage the in quick action. Perfect. Let's see if that. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Let's just double check mobile. So this is all, I'm using Shad, CN, and Tailwind. So this is all Shad, CN, Tailwind. It's making it responsive. So this is tablet, mobile. It just drops it down into 1 column. That's exactly, it's very hard trying to figure out the proper ways to set up these columns when you're doing it manually coding. Just kind of guessing and checking, but this did it right away. Let's go back. Management. Let's remove settings. We need that. Let's remove settings as well for now. Yeah, what do we need for settings? Nothing really. Manage subscriptions. If we need anything else, I'll add that later, but this is bare bones. Depends on the type of SaaS, but right now I want this to be boilerplate. Nice. Oh yeah, I've got to fix. So see how I just remember what I wanted to do on the session is what I identified last night. Let's log out. We don't need this logout button either. Remove logout button as well, since it's already on the navbar. Did I accept the other one? Yep. Perfect. Maybe we bring, I think that's good, keeping it like that. But maybe it should come in here, but right now it's okay. Alright, so if you log out, let's log out. This should bring you back to, there we go, log in. And now you shouldn't be able to get to the dashboard. You just redirect to the login. Yep. All right. So what I wanted to change was this. So this is, so the Google login works, but the regular login, if I signed up, so let's create a new account. And we're going to create it without Google Auth. Let's just use the stuff in here. And I'm going to say testing@gmail.com. I'm going to do a password. And I'm going to create account. So this should all work. Yep. Testing, John Doe, manage subscription. So they're in free mode right now. That's also something I need to figure out if you wanted to have freemium. So like, what's it called? Not starter, but like hobby. Or what's that terminology? Yeah, hobby, starter. For now, let's just do it like this. So yeah, they're not subscribed to anything. So in the dashboard, it should say, yeah, unpaid. Let's say it should be free. If user does not have a subscribed plan, make their status as free. Status. Free. Yeah, let's just say free. Unpaid doesn't sound good. Nice. All right. So then let's log out. So I have this. So the issue is when I log in with this user, I'll log out. Brings it back to the dashboard. And close. Yeah, same password. Login failed. And does it give an error? So we can give it to. Yeah, so see any errors coming from the network. We'll go to network and click the button again. Whoa, what is all this? Why is Datadog showing up? Sign in. 44 not found. Maybe it's why we don't even have the endpoint ready. Okay, let's work on fixed login for non-Google Auth users. I received this error in network tab. So giving it as much context will make it go extremely fast. It won't hallucinate or go around in circles. I can see the issue. Login endpoints are trying to means a route doesn't exist or isn't properly configured. Let me check the current authentication setup. Yeah, so I'm guessing we just didn't add API auth login, or that's just an invalid endpoint. Problem is that the front end is calling, but the backend route is configured differently. Let me check the URL. I found the issue. Front end is calling, but the backend route is configured differently. Let me check. Should be API/login. Well, that would do it. So this is the API routes for auth. Okay, now I need to update the front end to use the correct endpoint for getting the current user. Wait. Then all the other ones are gonna. But won't the other calls to the back end from the front end then need to be changed? Let's just change the front end to call/login. This by accident I accepted, but let's just ensure that it changes this back and rejects all of this stuff. Because everything else was working, was just that. Came back on effect. Oh, there we go. It's much simpler, just update front end API/login. Actually, it's best practice probably to do. Let's ask. It's best practice to. Is it better to do the other way with auth with /auth? Let's check. Really good point. Let me think about the front design. Using auth prefix, better approach. Using root path, current approach, mixed endpoints, auth endpoints mixed with other API. That's harder to understand what's auth related. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Let me revert to the auth approach and update all the front end code. Yeah. Just because the auth lives in our auth folder, which is up here, auth users. Organization all of those under. Let's just accept all of those. See if everything still works. Else we'll tell it to revert back. try that again. It worked. Let's try to log out. Yep. Let's try to continue with Google. Let's go back with this guy. Continue. Yep. Everything working good. Alright, so I think we got login correctly working again. Let's just do some more testing here. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Same password. Oh, registration failed. Let's try that again. Okay. It doesn't look like it updated everything correctly. Now the non-Google Auth register user flow isn't working. I got a 404. Probably just forgot to. It's gotta be API/auth/register. Check. I wonder why I missed that. See, it did say. Oh, just the back end. Okay. New changes. Let's try that again. Yippee. Log out. Now let's. Do I have another one? called twice. I think it fixed it, so let's check it out. Let's delete this. Wait, I don't think it actually updated. It didn't still. Delete. Let's delete this user again. Go. Alright. Move the console stuff. Double check it's gone. We're going to create a new account. No error this time. Let's double check the login works. Nice. Just double check all this works. We'll subscribe them. Pay without link. Oh, 449. 454. Or amazing. Paid, perfect. I want to switch to 99. Free. Perfect. Dashboard. Why does this say trial? When that worked, thank you. Do we need all those debug statements? We can add logging later. Logging. Okay. Thank you. When I update the subscription for a new user and it succeeds, but when I go back to the dashboard, it initially says trialing, but if I refresh, it then says active. Caching stale data is ever showing the old subscription status from when the user was first loaded, but after refresh fetching. Problem is that when the user subscribes, they get redirected to Stripe checkout, and when they return, this page doesn't refresh. Let me check the. Nice, it identified some debug statements. Alright. Let's try that. Let's just delete and start over. Let's log out. Let's make sure, and then let's delete this user. That might be a good stopping point after that for today. Delete customer delete. Alright. Let's create a new account. Continue with Google. Or someone's catching now. Okay, status free, manage subscription. So I think what I did was just say subscribe. Pay that link. And we'll go 40. Oops. Go to 31. Oops, 31. Go for that. Radium. 2. Grab. What? Can't get to the dashboard? Oh. That was a little weird. It's still saying trialing. Still saying trialing. open, but there are a few might not be up to this. I'll check what the actual subscription status. As a debugging first, let me add a manual sync function that we can call before we update the status. Sync subscription status. Subscription status. Upgrade and no shows free, otherwise shows the active status of trial. So the trial is a valid status for new subscribers, but you might want to display it as active so you fix this by updating statuses for the object. Running use super push update. Maybe we can have content on that line. Perfect. I can see the status, but it's already been updated. Good. Now let me also check when we go. Yeah, sure. I'll function in the trigger. Debug is actually let me check it. Endpoint is being called and add some more specific debugging. I think it's getting confused. Let me switch that. Status latest. Okay, screen status instruct is trialing, which is normal for me. The front end currently shows active for that user experience, but the user data and auth context still shows trial. Raw data. Let me update it to ultimate. Trying to active for consistency. Okay. So he's kind of getting confused and it's making some errors now. But it's fixing itself. Let's see if it completely screwed that up. Let's delete the user. It's taking so long. Something's messed up. really messed up. Oh. Let's run. I think it might be fixed now. Hey, you just need time to rebuild. Yeah. Delete the customer. Yes, delete. What is going on? Going to finish up this and then call it a night. Okay. Create an account. Continue with Google. Successfully authored. Status free. Manage subscription. Subscribe. Whoa. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. Should say paid. But why doesn't it bring me to the dashboard? This shouldn't be an issue. Maybe it is part of the issue. It's a warning. Oh, it brought me this really slow. Alright, well the active works. Alright, I think we're in a good spot for now. So we've got the payments page. I'll show you this. So this is my admin user right here. This has super user access. So here you can manage, you can view the products. Server's a little slow. All systems synced. So if I was to make a change to the product catalog in Stripe and I change like the price, this page is going to identify if it's off. It'll say it's out of sync, and then it'll give me a button that will sync it. And then manage plans. What about? Oh, and then just bring it to my. You see, it's got a little Stripe synced. It's pretty cool. And inside all these, we have all the codes associated with it. We have all the feature plans associated with it. Cool. I think the next thing I want to work on for tomorrow would be dashboard. What else do I need? We want reset password. So tomorrow I'll work on reset passwords. So I got to set up email. I'd also want to be able to, I guess if I'm a super user and I'm marketing to some of these users, I want to send out an email to one of these people using their email address. I could add that too since I will be working on that. So tomorrow I will be working on resetting password. So there'll be a reset password here for any of the non-Google Auth users. All right, and then I'll show you how I end. Reworking. Let's keep going. Reworking. Yeah, so I guess that error before was probably cache. This wasn't updated. Let's end session 3. And provide a summary and update any docs. So I also have it update any readmes, docs, and also add a new session in session logs. Yeah, so it's keeping track of what we accomplished. Yeah, and it already knows. But yeah, so next steps, password reset functionality and Google Analytics. I want to add Google Analytics, and then I want to try to hook up OpenAI, Claude, or Gemini, as well as social media integration, connect to social platforms for the super user, so I could send out marketing material. So I'll stay on the invitation. So I'll just tell it to let's end session 3 and provide summary and updates. And then I'm going to push the mouse down. This is a long series. So this is a session log, adding all the stuff I did tonight, so that I have the working history of what we worked on. So we can always refer there. Session 3. Nice. I set up the and I said, well, I'm start breaking updating relevant documentation. Nice. It's updating the README if there was changes needed. We can fix this later too if it's not completely up to date, or if it made weird changes that it wasn't expecting. Nice. Session 3 summary. Email-based password reset. I like this next session priorities. Can even copy this. All right, let's correct all these. Nice. I think we're all set. Hit status. Git add on. Git commit. Session 3. Updating. Start creation. And dashboard UI. Login and reg flows. Git push. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's check all the files. This is the document page. This is auth users. This fixed the issue where it was failing at first, and then logging in the user. Remove the debug statements and the Google Auth timeout issue or too many calls. So added some retries. Payments. Got like the current subscription. It added some debugs. We can remove those later though. Update, yeah, that fixed the update. There's the summary. I approve, but I think I can just merge. Okay. Ooh. Cursor bug bot. That's cool. I haven't seen this yet. I think I added it. merge. Alright. Let's also spin down. Docker compose down. And that's a night. Thank you guys if you stayed all the way on. Thank you.